2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday the 17th of May and it's National Walnut Day. And a big happy birthday to Trent Reznor, Passenger, Enya and Jeremy Vine. The cost of living crisis took a turn on Monday as Government Minister Rachel Maclean managed to suggest that it's really your own fault if you haven't got enough money to pay the rising bills and cope with inflation.
We need to have a plan to grow the economy and make sure that people are able to protect themselves better, whether that is by taking on more hours or moving to a better paid job. And these are long-term actions, but that's what we're focused on as a government.
It came as energy regulator Ofgem confirmed it's planning to update the energy price cap 4 times a year from October. It's a move they say would help pass on savings from a potential fall in gas prices to customers more rapidly.
For the difficult news I have, it is likely in October that prices will go up again. But what we will do is we will make sure you pay no more than the cost that you need to for your energy.
Consumer experts don't agree that it will save the consumer any money, and money-saving expert Martin Lewis says the government's only managed to make this problem worse.
I mean, let's just go to a basic summary of the situation. What we have is privatised energy firms in this country, but we effectively now have restricted competition and regulated prices in the form of a price cap. What is the benefit of privatisation if you work in that marketplace?
Boris Johnson was in Belfast on Monday to meet with Northern Ireland's political leaders and try to break the deadlock at Stormont over the Northern Ireland Protocol. He spoke to all 5 party leaders, but it didn't seem like he'd solved any of the issues as he still plans to proceed with new legislation.
We would love this to be done in a consensual way with our friends and partners, but to get that done, to have the insurance, we need to proceed with a legislative solution at the same time.
Sinn Féin leader Mary Lou McDonald didn't seem too impressed by a meeting with Boris.
It's very clear to us that despite all of the rhetoric from the British government about re-establishing the executive here in the north, that in fact their priority is placating the DUP.
And as the Irish government continued to warn against unilateral action, the DUP's Sir Geoffrey Donaldson was reviewing his calls for exactly that.
Clearly, we want a fully functioning executive. We want that to happen as soon as possible. And therefore, we're looking now to the government. We've had the words. We now need to see the action. That's what we're looking for from our government, from our Prime Minister. It's decisive action on the protocol.
There was a major breakthrough in the siege of Mariupol on Monday night, with Russian troops opening a humanitarian corridor for the evacuation of 53 wounded Ukrainian fighters from the Azovstal steel plant. They were taken to a Russian-controlled town of Novoazovsk. Almost a dozen buses left the plant, with the images shown on Russia Today. Ukrainian sources say a further 211 troops were taken to the Russian-controlled town of Olenivka. It's not clear how many troops are left, but the plan is to exchange them for Russian prisoners. President Zelensky says it's a delicate operation.
I want to emphasize, Ukraine needs Ukrainian heroes alive. This is our principle. I think that every adequate person will understand these words. The operation to rescue the defenders of Mariupol was started by our military and intelligence officers. To bring the boys home, the work continues, and this work needs delicacy and time.
Meanwhile, Sweden's followed Finland in confirming it'll apply to join NATO. It's a dramatic move that marks one of the biggest strategic consequences of Russia's invasion of Ukraine so far. Sweden's Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson explained the rationale.
Today, the working group's report and its conclusions were discussed in the Swedish Parliament, and the support for a Swedish application for NATO membership was broadly affirmed. After the debate, the government of Sweden formally decided to apply for NATO membership.
The battle of the wags continued on Monday as Colleen Rooney took to the stand for the second time in the £3 million Wagatha Christie libel trial. Colleen described how she ramped up her self-proclaimed sting operation against fame-hungry Rebecca Vardy. Sophia Wensler has more.
She's been speaking a lot today. She's also discussed, calling the WhatsApp messages between Rebecca Vardy and her former agent Evil, and accusing Rebecca Vardy of almost kind of stalking her. So quite a lot of strong language used today by Colleen.
But Mrs Vardy did not hang around. She upped and left court early before it had even finished, citing an appointment she had to get to. You can catch up on all the latest from the Wagatha Christie trial every afternoon with our Smart 7 bonus episodes.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Blackpool footballer Jake Daniels makes history and the new series of The Boys is on the way. Right after this. Welcome back.
In sport, Arsenal faced Newcastle on Monday night in the Premier League, with the Gunners needing to win to stand a solid chance of staying ahead of Spurs in the race for fourth place, with only one round of games left this weekend. And it didn't go well for Mikel Arteta's men, as they lost 2-0. That leaves Tottenham 2 points ahead of Arsenal with a better goal difference, and Arteta was not pulling any punches.
It was a really difficult night to swallow. Newcastle decided to win the match comfortably. They were much better than us from the beginning to the last minute, and we had nothing in the game.
But he says there's still a chance.
There's always a chance in football, and you have to be there just in case that chance appears.
Jake Daniels made history on Monday. He's the UK's first professional footballer to come out as gay since 1990. He's only 17 and plays for Blackpool, and his announcement was praised by a wide range of people, including Boris Johnson, Harry Kane and Gary Lineker. He spoke to Sky Sports about his decision and how hard it is to cope with the stigma of being gay in male professional football. He's hoping his announcement will help to open doors for others.
I think because I'm younger, people can think, this kid's brave enough to do this, so I feel like I'll be able to, and I just want to do that for other people.
The Boys are back in town. Yep, the incredibly dark, deeply violent superhero series is coming back to Amazon Prime Video. It's set in an alternative timeline where superheroes are really supervillains, using their powers for their own selfish gains. The Boys are a group of vigilantes who are trying to take down the crooked heroes. It looks both amazing and totally chaotic, and it drops on June the 3rd.
I am very excited for everyone to meet the real me.
There's something wrong with Homelander.
This has been the Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day. Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.